The vast expanse of space stretched out before the Galactic Empire's scout ship, the Stargazer. Captain Zorn, a seasoned explorer with blue skin and 4 eyes, stood on the bridge. His tentacles moved quickly over the control panel as he guided the ship through an unexplored sector. "Sir, we're picking up strange signals," reported Lieutenant Vex, her antennae twitching with excitement. Zorn floated over to her station. "What kind of signals?" "They seem to be radio waves, sir. But they're unlike anything in our database." Zorn's eyes widened. This could be it, the discovery that would earn him a promotion. "Plot a course to the source," he ordered. As the Stargazer approached the signal's origin, a small blue and green planet came into view. It was the 3rd planet from a yellow star, perfectly placed in the habitable zone. "Life signs?" Zorn asked, his voice barely hiding his anticipation. "Confirmed, sir," Vex replied. "And it's incredible. The planet is teeming with life. But there's more." Zorn leaned in closer. "Go on." "There are clear signs of civilization. Cities, structures, and primitive spacecrafts in orbit." The bridge fell silent. They had stumbled upon an emerging spacefaring race. Zorn made a quick decision. "We need to observe them closely. Engage stealth mode and prepare for a detailed scan." For the next several days, the Stargazer orbited the planet, hidden from its inhabitants' primitive detection systems. They watched in fascination as the creatures below went about their lives. "They call themselves humans," Vex reported after decoding some of their transmissions, "and their planet is named Earth." Zorn nodded, his mind racing with the possibilities. "What can you tell me about their technological capabilities?" Vex pulled up a holographic display. "They're in the early stages of space exploration. They've reached their own moon and sent unmanned probes to nearby planets. Their weapons technology is primitive compared to ours, mostly based on chemical explosives and nuclear fission." Zorn stroked his chin tentacles thoughtfully. "Any signs of faster-than-light travel or energy shields?" "Negative, sir. They seem centuries away from such advancements." A slow smile spread across Zorn's face. This was perfect. An emerging race with valuable resources, ripe for conquest. The Empire would reward him handsomely for this discovery. "Prepare a full report," Zorn ordered. "We're heading back to Imperial Command." Weeks later, Zorn stood before the Imperial Council, his tentacles quivering with nervous energy as he concluded his presentation. "And so, esteemed leaders, I believe this Earth presents a unique opportunity for the Empire. Their technology poses no threat to us, yet their planet is rich in resources we desperately need." The Supreme Leader, a massive being with crystalline skin, leaned forward. "You've done well, Captain Zorn. This discovery could solve our resource crisis." Another council member spoke up. "But what of the inhabitants? These humans?" Zorn had anticipated this question. "Our initial assessments suggest they would make excellent laborers. Their physical capabilities are impressive for their size." The council chamber buzzed with excited chatter. The Supreme Leader raised a hand for silence. "The decision is made," the leader announced. "We shall launch a full-scale invasion of Earth. Captain Zorn, you will lead the first wave." Zorn's chest swelled with pride. This was the moment he had been waiting for his entire career. As he left the council chamber, Zorn allowed himself a moment of pity for the humans. They had no idea what was coming. Their pitiful weapons would be no match for the Empire's advanced technology. Little did Zorn know, he had grossly underestimated the creatures called humans. The easy conquest he envisioned was about to become the Empire's worst nightmare. The sky over New York City was clear and blue on that fateful morning. People rushed to work, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. High above the Earth, hidden from human eyes, the Galactic Empire's invasion fleet emerged from hyperspace. Admiral Kraz, a veteran of 100 conquests, stood on the bridge of his flagship. His scaly skin gleamed under the harsh lights as he surveyed the blue planet below. "Pathetic," he muttered. "They don't even know we're here." His second-in-command, a tall insectoid being named Sith, approached. "Sir, all ships report ready. Shall we begin the attack?" Kraz nodded. "Commence the first wave. Target their major cities." Across the Earth, people looked up in horror as massive ships appeared in the sky. In New York, panic erupted as a giant beam of energy shot down from the alien vessel, slicing through skyscrapers like butter. Similar scenes played out in London, Tokyo, and other major cities. Chaos reigned as people fled, and emergency services struggled to respond. At the Pentagon, General Sarah Thompson stared at the screens in disbelief. "What the hell are we dealing with here?" she demanded. A young analyst spoke up. "Ma'am, our satellites are picking up over 100 alien ships in low Earth orbit. They're unlike anything we've ever seen." Thompson's jaw clenched. "Get me the president, and scramble every fighter we've got." As Earth's military forces mobilized, they quickly realized the futility of their efforts. Missiles bounced harmlessly off the alien ship shields. Fighter jets were swatted from the sky like flies. Admiral Kraz watched the humans' attempts with amusement. "See how they scurry," he said to Sith, "like insects before the storm." But as the day wore on, Kraz's amusement turned to frustration. Despite the overwhelming technological advantage, the humans refused to surrender. Instead, they fought back with a ferocity that surprised the alien invaders. In New York, a group of cops and firefighters managed to bring down a small alien craft using nothing but determination and improvised weapons. In London, civilians formed human chains to rescue people from collapsed buildings, ignoring the danger from ongoing attacks. Reports flooded in from around the world. The humans were adapting, learning, fighting back in ways the Empire had never encountered before. Sith approached Kraz, his antennae twitching nervously. "Sir, we're facing unexpectedly high casualties. The humans' resistance is impressive." Kraz's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. They're primitives. Increase the attack intensity." As night fell over a battered Earth, world leaders gathered in a secret underground bunker. The mood was grim, but determined. President Elena Rodriguez of the United States addressed the group. "Ladies and gentlemen, we face the greatest threat in human history. But we will not go quietly into the night. We will fight, and we will survive." Cheers erupted from the assembled leaders. Plans were quickly made. Scientists would work around the clock to understand the alien technology. Military forces would be combined and coordinated globally. Every resource, every mind, every hand would be dedicated to humanity's survival. Back on the alien flagship, Admiral Kraz received disturbing news. The humans had managed to capture one of their smaller ships intact. Even worse, there were reports of humans reverse engineering some of their technology at an alarming rate. For the first time, a flicker of doubt crossed Kraz's mind. He had expected an easy conquest, but these humans were proving to be unlike any species the Empire had encountered before. As the first day of the invasion ended, both sides prepared for what was to come. The Galactic Empire, with its vast technological superiority, was confident of eventual victory. But the humans, with their backs against the wall, were ready to fight with everything they had. Little did the invaders know, humanity's greatest strength was about to be unleashed. Their incredible ability to innovate, adapt, and overcome seemingly impossible odds. The real war was just beginning, and it would shake the Galactic Empire to its very foundations. 2 weeks had passed since the alien invasion began. The world was in ruins, but humanity's spirit remained unbroken. In a hidden underground lab beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Emily Chen stared at her computer screen, her eyes wide with excitement. "We did it," she whispered, then louder, "We did it." Her team of scientists gathered around, their faces a mix of exhaustion and hope. For days, they had been working on reverse engineering the alien technology from the captured ship. "What is it, Dr. Chen?" asked her assistant, Mike. Emily pointed to the screen. Look at these energy readings. We've cracked their shield technology. The news spread like wildfire. Within hours, world leaders and military commanders were meeting to plan humanity's counterattack. Meanwhile, in orbit, Admiral Kraz paced the bridge of his flagship. The invasion was not going as planned. Human resistance was fiercer than expected, and their ability to adapt was unsettling. Status report. Kraz barked. Sith approached, his usually calm demeanor shaken. Sir, we've lost contact with our ground forces in several major cities. The humans are. They're using our own weapons against us. Kraz's eyes narrowed. Impossible. How could they learn to use our technology so quickly? Before Sith could respond, alarms blared across the ship. On the main view screen, they watched in shock as a swarm of small, fast-moving objects approached their fleet. What are those? Kraz demanded. They appear to be human aircraft, sir, Sith replied, his voice filled with disbelief. But they're emitting energy signatures similar to our own shields. On Earth, pilots strapped themselves into their newly modified jets. The planes looked cobbled together, a mix of human and alien tech, but they flew like nothing ever seen before on Earth. Colonel Sarah Thompson, now leading Earth's United Air Force, spoke to her pilots. Remember your training. Hit hard, hit fast, and don't let up. Show these aliens what humans are made of. The battle that followed was like nothing in Earth's history. Human jets, protected by reverse-engineered shields, darted between the massive alien ships. They fired weapons that cut through the invaders' defenses, causing explosions that lit up the sky. Admiral Kraz watched in horror as ship after ship in his fleet erupted in flames. This is impossible, he roared. They were primitives just days ago. But the humans weren't done. As the space battle raged, ground forces launched their own attacks. Soldiers wearing powered armor, reverse-engineered from alien tech, stormed the invaders' ground bases. In New York, a team led by a former cop named Jake used captured alien weapons to take down a massive walker that had been terrorizing the city. As it crashed to the ground, cheers erupted from the rubble-strewn streets. The tide was turning. Across the globe, humans pushed back against their invaders with a ferocity that shocked the alien forces. It wasn't just their new technology that made the difference. It was their spirit, their refusal to give up, their ability to think creatively in the face of overwhelming odds. Back in the hidden lab, Dr. Chen and her team worked tirelessly. With each passing hour, they unlocked more secrets of the alien tech. Faster than light communication, gravity manipulation, energy weapons. Humanity's technological progress was advancing at an unprecedented rate. As the day wore on, the alien fleet was in disarray. Admiral Kraz, his ship badly damaged, made a difficult decision. All ships, retreat, he ordered, his voice heavy with defeat. We must regroup and reassess. As the remaining alien ships fled Earth's orbit, cheers erupted in command centers around the world. Humanity had won its first major victory. But wise leaders knew this was just the beginning. The Galactic Empire would be back, and Earth needed to be ready. In the White House Situation Room, President Rodriguez addressed her team. Today, we've shown the universe what humans are capable of. But our fight is far from over. We need to push harder, advance faster. The next time they come, we'll be ready to take the fight to them. As night fell over a battered but undefeated Earth, humanity looked to the stars with new eyes. They had faced extinction and survived. Now, they were ready to claim their place in the galaxy. The Galactic Empire had made a grave mistake. They had awoken a sleeping giant, and the universe would never be the same. 3 months had passed since humanity's surprising victory. Earth was rebuilding, its cities rising from the ashes stronger than before. But in the deep reaches of space, trouble was brewing. Admiral Kraz stood before the Imperial Council, his scales dull with shame. Great ones, I admit my failure. These humans are more resourceful than we anticipated. The Supreme Leader's crystalline form shimmered with anger. You promised an easy conquest, Kraz. Instead, you return in defeat. Give me another chance, Kraz pleaded. With more ships, new weapons. Silence. The leader boomed. You are relieved of command. A new figure stepped forward. General Vex, a being of pure energy contained in a sleek metallic suit. Her voice crackled like lightning. I will lead the next assault. We will crush these humans once and for all. Back on Earth, in a high-tech war room in Geneva, world leaders gathered. Holographic displays showed Earth's new defenses, a network of satellites armed with energy weapons, squadrons of advanced fighters, and more. Dr. Emily Chen, now head of Earth's Science Division, addressed the group. Our progress has been incredible, but we can't get complacent. The Empire will return, and they'll be stronger. General Sarah Thompson nodded grimly. We've upgraded our weapons, but our intel suggests the Empire's reinforcements will be like nothing we've seen before. President Rodriguez stood up. Then we'll be ready. Humanity didn't come this far to fail now. As if on cue, alarms blared. A young officer burst into the room. Madam President, we're detecting multiple wormholes opening at the edge of our solar system. On screens around the world, people watched in horror as a massive fleet emerged. Thousands of ships, each larger and more menacing than those in the first wave. At their center, a behemoth that dwarfed everything else. The Empire's planet killer, rumors of which had only been whispered about until now. General Vex's voice boomed across all frequencies. Humans of Earth, your defiance ends now. Surrender or face total annihilation. In response, Earth launched its defense. Swarms of fighters, piloted by the best from every nation, engaged the alien fleet. New weapons, based on Empire tech, but enhanced by human ingenuity, blazed across space. The battle was fierce. Earth's defenses were stronger, but the Empire's numbers were overwhelming. One by one, Earth's satellite weapons were destroyed. The planet killer moved into position, its main cannon charging. In a secret base on the moon, a team of scientists and soldiers prepared humanity's secret weapon. Dr. Chen made final adjustments to a device that looked like a small sun contained in a metal sphere. If this works, she said, we'll open a miniature black hole right in the middle of their fleet. Colonel Jake, the former cop now leading Earth's special forces, grinned. And if it doesn't? Then it's been an honor serving with you all, Chen replied. The device was loaded onto a stealth ship. Jake and his team had one mission: deliver it to the heart of the enemy fleet. As Earth's defenses crumbled and hope seemed lost, Jake's ship slipped past the Empire's lines. They flew straight for the planet killer, dodging fire from all sides. Now or never, Doc, Jake shouted into his comm. Dr. Chen, watching from the moon base, activated the device. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, space itself seemed to warp. A tiny point of darkness appeared, quickly growing. Empire ships, caught off guard, were pulled in. The planet killer, too massive to escape, was torn apart. General Vex watched in disbelief as her fleet was decimated. Impossible, she whispered. The black hole, its work done, collapsed on itself in a flash of energy that lit up the solar system. As the dust settled, Earth had won again, but at a great cost. Much of their fleet was destroyed. Millions had died in the battle. In Geneva, world leaders gathered once more. President Rodriguez's voice was heavy but determined. We've survived, but the Empire will be back. It's time we take the fight to them. Dr. Chen stepped forward. With the data we gathered, I think we can replicate their faster-than-light travel. We can build our own starships. General Thompson nodded. And we'll need them. The Empire won't stop until we're destroyed. Or they are. As the meeting adjourned, humanity looked to the stars with new purpose. They had been attacked, nearly destroyed, but had risen stronger. Now they would take their first steps into the wider galaxy. The Empire had wanted war. Now, They would get one they never expected. 1 year had passed since the Empire's last attack. Earth had changed dramatically. Gleaming cities with impossible architecture stretched to the sky. In orbit, massive shipyards constructed humanity's first interstellar fleet. Dr. Emily Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Defiant, Earth's first faster-than-light-capable warship. She marveled at how far they'd come. From horse-drawn carriages to starships in just over a century, she murmured. Captain Jake, once a street cop, now commander of Earth's flagship, grinned. That's humanity for you, Doc. Give us a problem, and we'll solve it, usually with style. Their conversation was interrupted by an alarm. Captain, the sensor officer called. We're detecting an Empire scout ship at the edge of the system. Jake's eyes narrowed. So, they're back. Engage stealth systems and set an intercept course. As the Defiant silently approached the alien vessel, Dr. Chen finalized a new weapon she'd been working on. It's ready, she announced. The quantum disruptor should disable their systems without destroying the ship. Jake nodded. Perfect. We need prisoners this time. It's our turn to ask questions. The attack was swift and precise. The Empire ship, caught completely off guard by technology they didn't know humans possessed, was quickly disabled. Back on Earth, in a secure facility, General Sarah Thompson interrogated the captured alien captain. Why does your Empire want our planet so badly? She demanded. The alien, a tentacled being, looked at her with a mix of fear and awe. You don't know. Your world. It's unique. The minerals in your crust, they're essential for our most advanced technologies. We thought you were primitives, easy prey. Sarah leaned in close. Well, you thought wrong. Meanwhile, in labs across the globe, human scientists were making breakthrough after breakthrough. They weren't just copying alien tech anymore. They were improving it, combining it with human innovations in ways the Empire had never imagined. In Silicon Valley, a team led by a young prodigy unveiled a new AI system that could predict enemy tactics in real time. In Tokyo, engineers perfected a mech suit that could go toe-to-toe with the Empire's largest ground units. But perhaps the most significant development came from an unexpected source. In a small lab in Nigeria, a team of biochemists made a startling discovery. Dr. Adebayo burst into President Rodriguez's office, his eyes wild with excitement. Madam President, we've done it. We've found a way to synthesize the minerals the Empire wants. We can create them artificially. The implications were enormous. Not only could Earth defend itself, but it could also potentially cripple the Empire's economy. As Earth prepared for its first offensive action against the Empire, a new strategy was formed. They would strike not just with advanced weapons, but with economic and psychological warfare. The UES Defiant led a fleet of Earth ships on their first mission beyond the solar system. Their target, a key Empire mining colony. As they approached, Captain Jake addressed his crew. Remember, we're not here for destruction. We're here to send a message. The battle was short but intense. Earth's ships, faster and more maneuverable than anything the Empire had seen, ran circles around the colonial defenses. Dr. Chen activated the quantum disruptor, and in moments, every piece of Empire tech on the planet was disabled. Jake's voice boomed across all frequencies. Attention Empire forces and civilians. We are not here to harm you. We're here to liberate you. Your leaders have lied to you about us, about why this war started. We have the means to produce what your Empire needs without conquest or bloodshed. Join us, and together we can build a better future for all species. As confused alien colonists emerged from their homes, human diplomats and scientists began the process of explaining, teaching, and offering a hand in friendship. Back on the Defiance Bridge, Jake turned to Dr. Chen. Think this crazy plan will work? Chen smiled. If there's one thing I've learned, it's to never underestimate the power of human ingenuity, or human kindness. As news of the successful mission spread, the Empire faced a crisis. Their own people were beginning to question the war. Humanity, once dismissed as primitive, was now seen as a force to be reckoned with. The tide of the war was turning, not through overwhelming force, but through innovation, strategy, and an unexpectedly human touch. The Empire was about to learn that sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a doomsday device, but an idea whose time has come. The grand hall of the Imperial Palace buzzed with tension. The Supreme Leader, his crystalline form pulsing with anger, glared at the assembled War Council. "How?" he roared. "How have these humans pushed us back at every turn?" General Vex, her energy form crackling, stepped forward. "My lord, we've underestimated them. Their adaptability, their creativity. It's unlike anything we've encountered." A hush fell over the room as a hologram flickered to life. It showed Earth's fleet, now rivaling the Empire's in size and technology, pushing ever deeper into Imperial space. The Supreme Leader's voice was cold. "Then we have no choice. Prepare the World Breaker." Gasps echoed through the chamber. The World Breaker was the Empire's ultimate weapon, capable of destroying entire solar systems. Its use had been outlawed for millennia, even by the Empire's brutal standards. As the Empire prepared its doomsday weapon, Earth's leaders gathered in the newly constructed Unity Tower in Geneva. The mood was cautiously optimistic. President Rodriguez addressed the assembly. "We've made incredible progress, but our intel suggests the Empire is planning something big. We need to end this war, and soon." Dr. Chen, now head of Earth's Science Council, stepped up. "We've detected unusual energy readings from the Empire's home system. Whatever they're planning, it's massive." Captain Jake, promoted to Admiral of Earth's fleet, spoke next. "Then we hit them first, hard and fast, before they can use whatever this weapon is." The plan was set. Earth would launch an all-out assault on the Empire's capital world. It was a risky move, but humanity had learned that boldness often paid off. As Earth's fleet prepared to jump to the Empire's home system, Admiral Jake addressed his crews. "This is it, people. Everything we've fought for comes down to this. Remember, we're not just fighting for Earth anymore. We're fighting for every world the Empire has oppressed. Let's show the galaxy what humans can do." The jump was perfect. Earth's ships appeared right on the edge of the Imperial home system, catching the enemy fleet completely off guard. The battle that followed was like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Human ships danced between Imperial cruisers, their advanced shields shrugging off attacks that would have vaporized them just months ago. On the bridge of the UES Defiant, now Earth's flagship, Admiral Jake coordinated the assault. Group A, push for their orbital defenses. Group B, take out those shipyards. "Dr. Chen, how's our special package?" Dr. Chen's voice came over the comm. "The Quark disruptor is ready, Admiral. One shot should disable their entire planetary defense grid, but we'll need to get close." Jake grinned. "Close is what we do best, Doc." As the battle raged, the Empire unveiled its secret weapon. The World Breaker, a station the size of a small moon, emerged from behind the Imperial capital's largest moon. General Vex's voice boomed across all channels. "Humans, witness your doom. The World Breaker will reduce your precious Earth to cosmic dust." But the Empire had made a critical mistake. In their arrogance, they'd assumed Earth wouldn't be able to reach their home system. The World Breaker was still powering up, vulnerable. Jake saw the opportunity. "All ships, focus fire on that station. Dr. Chen, get me a firing solution for the Quark disruptor." Earth's fleet converged on the World Breaker, pouring fire into its still charging weapons. For a moment, it seemed like it wouldn't be enough. Then the UES Defiant broke through. "Firing Quark disruptor," Dr. Chen shouted. A beam of pure white energy lanced out, striking the World Breaker dead center. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the massive station began to break apart, its own energy turning against it. The explosion was visible from the surface of the Imperial capital. In the Grand Palace, the Supreme Leader watched in disbelief as his ultimate weapon was destroyed. General Vex turned to her leader, her voice somber. "Your Highness, we've lost." As the Imperial fleet began to retreat, cheers erupted across Earth's ships. They had done it. The seemingly invincible Galactic Empire had been defeated. Admiral Jake's voice, thick with emotion, addressed the fleet. "Well done, everyone. But remember, our goal isn't destruction. Signal the Imperial capital. Tell them we're ready to accept their surrender and to begin peace talks." As the dust settled, the galaxy held its breath. The war wasn't over, not yet, but a new era was dawning, one where humanity would play a central role. The Empire had sought to conquer Earth. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, one whose potential was only beginning to be realized. The stars themselves seemed to shine a little brighter, heralding the dawn of a new age in the cosmos. 5 years had passed since the fall of the Galactic Empire. The galaxy was a very different place now. Where once the Empire's ships had brought fear and destruction, now Earth's vessels traveled, bringing trade, knowledge, and hope. On the former Imperial capital world of Xerex, a historic meeting was taking place. In a vast hall that once housed the Empire's War Council, representatives from 100 worlds gathered. At the center of it all stood Admiral Jake, now Earth's chief diplomat. Jake looked out at the assembled aliens, still amazed at the diversity of life in the galaxy. "Friends," he began, his voice carrying across the hall. "5 years ago, we were enemies. Today, we come together as partners, as equals, to forge a new future for all our peoples." In the crowd, Dr. Chen sat next to a Xerixian scientist, the two deep in conversation about a joint research project. Nearby, former Imperial General Vex, now a key ally in the transition, nodded approvingly at Jake's words. As Jake spoke of unity and cooperation, news trickled in from across the galaxy. On a dozen worlds, former Imperial colonies were holding their first free elections. Trade routes, once tightly controlled by the Empire, now flowed freely, bringing prosperity to worlds long oppressed. But not all was peaceful. On the edges of known space, remnants of the Empire's fleet still lurked, led by hardliners unwilling to accept defeat. Earth's ships patrolled these regions, not as conquerors, but as peacekeepers. Back on Earth, the changes were even more dramatic. The planet had become the center of a new galactic community. In every major city, aliens walked the streets, tourists and diplomats, and students all coming to see the world that had changed everything. President Rodriguez, now in her final year of office, stood atop the Unity Tower in Geneva. Below her, a city that blended Earth architecture with alien influences sprawled out. She turned to her aide, a young Xerixian. "Tell me, Zax, what do your people think of Earth now?" Zax's eye stalks wobbled in what Rodriguez had learned was a sign of deep respect. "Madam President, Earth is a beacon to the galaxy. You've shown us all a new way forward." But Earth's leaders knew that with great power came great responsibility. In a secure room deep beneath Washington, D.C., military and scientific leaders met to discuss a troubling discovery. Admiral Sarah Thompson, her hair now streaked with gray, addressed the room. "Our deep space probes have detected something concerning. There's another empire out there, one that makes our old enemy look like amateurs." Dr. Chen pulled up a holographic display. "We're calling them the Void Collective. From what we can tell, they consume entire galaxies for energy. And they're heading our way." The room fell silent. Humanity had faced extinction once and survived. Now, they faced an even greater threat. But they were not the same species that had cowered in fear when the first Imperial ships appeared in the sky. President Rodriguez's voice came over the comm. "Then we do what we've always done. We adapt. We innovate. And this time, we don't fight alone. We'll face this threat with our new allies by our side." As the meeting adjourned, Earth's leaders stepped out into a world transformed. Skyscrapers reached into the clouds, their designs a blend of a dozen alien architectures. In orbit, ships from across the galaxy docked at a sprawling space station. A group of school children, a mix of humans and young aliens, passed by on a tour. Their guide, a former Earth soldier, was explaining how the war had started. And that's why we always say, never underestimate humanity. As night fell, Earth's cities lit up, a beacon visible from space. In homes and ships and distant worlds across the galaxy, beings of all kinds looked to Earth with hope. The planet that had defeated an empire had become something more, a symbol of what was possible when determination met ingenuity. The galaxy had learned a powerful lesson. Humanity was not to be trifled with. But more importantly, they had learned that humans could be the most powerful allies in the face of cosmic threats. As Earth prepared for the challenges ahead, one thing was clear. The species that had gone from stone tools to starships in the blink of a cosmic eye was just getting started. The next chapter in humanity's story promised to be the most exciting yet. The Galactic Empire's first war with humans had indeed been a warning, not to Earth, but to any force that might threaten the peace of the galaxy. Humanity was here to stay, and the universe would never be the same.